we can master this method of solving systems of equations today. The first thing we're going to talk about is what are some of the things we have to go through in terms of when we solve these systems, what are some of the checkpoints we need to cover. First of all, both equations have to be in standard form. Okay, and again, can anyone remind me what standard form is? AX plus
B
what?
X Y
BY equals C, right. AX plus BY equals C, okay? Both equations, when you use elimination, have to be in standard form. If they're not in standard form, then you're not going to be able to use elimination to do so. Okay? Alright, now, the next thing we need to do is we need to make sure that both equations are lined up or arranged by like terms in the columns, okay? So both equations
So after the first
have to be aligned
right there. Okay.
or arranged, let's use the word arranged if you want to, by like terms. Okay, and by like terms in columns. Hopefully that makes sense. So I'm going to give you an example of what that looks like, okay? So example, if I have 2x plus 4y equals 10 here, then the next equation has got to be lined up by like terms as well. Okay? So right here, if we look at this, are these like terms?
Yes.
Yes. Are those like terms? And are those like terms? Everybody agree with that? Are these like terms in this column? Are these like terms in this column?
Yes.
And are those like terms in that column?
Yeah.
That automatically allows me to use elimination to do this system. Because one, both equations are in standard form. Two, both equations have to be aligned or arranged by like terms in each column. Okay, alright, and then that will help us be able to add these two equations. Does that make sense? Good? Alright. Okay, next one. The next point of emphasis or key concept is, okay, that we have to make sure that we pay attention to whether we add or subtract to eliminate a variable. So the next thing we need to talk about is adding. You need to add or subtract to eliminate a variable.
Would you like a softball?
Oh, I sure would. Yeah, put it right there. I'll put it on my door.
Hi.
Okay, so add or subtract to eliminate a variable. Here's the rules that we need to make sure we have. Okay, Tom, can you see this on the board right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I write down here, you can still see it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, the rule is, here's our rule. When you have same signs, if you have same signs, guys, do you know what you need to do? Add or subtract?
Add.
Nope, you're going to subtract. You're going to subtract. So when you have same signs, you're always going to subtract. Okay, that's the rule. When we have same signs, we're going to subtract. Okay? If you have opposite signs, you're going to what?
Add.
You're going to add. Yep. That's a very, very important part of notes right here. Okay? These are, like I said, the key concepts. We got one more to add to our list, and then we'll do some examples. Okay, the last thing is, notice that I've combined lessons 7.3 and 7.4 together today. Because it's all on what? Elimination. But the key is in 7.4, they start kind of throwing another wrinkle in it and saying, wait a minute. Yeah, you might have these two equations in standard form, but you're not going to be adding and subtracting first. What are you going to have to do first in 7.4? You're going to have to multiply through to then look to add or subtract. So let's put that there. So we're going to have to pay attention to, sometimes we're going to have to multiply bless you, multiply 1 or both equations by a constant. Okay, first, then what? Add or subtract. So this, guys, is the concept that's introduced in 7.4. So because we're combining these two lessons together, I'm going to start off with where we just add or subtract, and then we're going to move on to having to multiply either 1 or 2 equations, and then we're going to look at maybe where we have to rearrange an equation, then have to multiply. So we have obviously different examples we want to do. So we'll do 3 or 4 examples, and then make sure that this is all making sense to you. But this is the key right here. Getting this information is going to help you through all of the homework today, okay? And all the work that we do to prepare ourselves to make sure that this is something we can master as a concept, okay? Both equations in standard form. Both equations have to make sure that they're aligned by like terms. And then we have to look to say whether we add or subtract to eliminate a variable. And then lastly, we'll look to see, now that we know how to add and subtract, sometimes we'll have to multiply first, then add or subtract. Okay, can I erase this and then we'll go on to an example? All right, here we go.
After number 1.
All right, example 1. Solve using elimination. Okay, let's use the equation negative 6x plus y is equal to 39, and negative 2x plus y is equal to negative 17. Okay, tell me right now, are both of these equations in standard form?
Yes.
Yes. They're both in ax plus by equals c, aren't they? Okay? Now tell me, are they arranged by like terms in each of the columns?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. Do we have our x's together? We have our y's and we have our constant terms. Yes. So check one, check off, step 1, check off step 2, or guideline, whatever you want to call it. So yes, we have those two things taken care of. Now we move on to, can we add or subtract to eliminate either x or y?
Subtract.
Okay? You say subtract, Brandon. I agree with you. What variable then, though, are we going to eliminate if you subtract?
Why?
Y, exactly. So let's go over here, guys. I want everybody right now to write, over here, I want you to write which variable you're eliminating. So everybody write eliminate y, or eliminate y. Okay, put that over there, just to remind yourself which variable you're eliminating. Now, what are we going to do to eliminate y? You said to do what?
Subtract.
Subtract. Why are we subtracting?
Because they're same signs.
Exactly. What are the only two numbers we look at? We only look at the ones we're eliminating. I don't care what these signs are, and I don't care what these signs are. All I care about is the ones you're eliminating. And because the signs in front of the y's are same signs, they're both positive, that tells me they're same signs, so therefore I'm going to subtract. So write this over here. Same signs, so I'm going to subtract. Okay? Now what I do then, class, is I put the subtraction sign out here nice and big for myself, so I don't forget about it. Okay? Watch. I'm going to put the subtraction sign out here and make sure I put it in a box, not to forget about it. Okay? Because everything is going to be subtracted. Okay? Everything is going to be subtracted. So watch. Negative 6x minus a negative 2x. What happens when I subtract a negative? It becomes a positive. So is it negative 6x plus 2x?
Yeah.
And what is negative 6x plus 2x? Negative 4x. So bring down negative 4x. What am I eliminating? My y. So cross those off. And then now put your equals here. What's 39 minus a negative 17?
56.
Positive 56. Now class, let's think about this. If you would not have put this subtraction sign out here, what do you think you would have put for an answer over here?
22.
You would have put 22, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Because you would have thought about not subtracting, wouldn't you?
Yes.
That's why it's so very important. That's why I tell you to put a box around this. Make it big, make it something you see, so you don't forget that everything has to be subtracted in the system. Okay? What do we divide both sides by now? -4. We get x is equal to, what's 56 divided by -4?
14.
-14. How much of my answer have I now solved for?
Half.
Point.
Half of my answer. I've chosen for x. How do I solve for y now?
Plug it in.
Plug it in. You have your choice, the top or the bottom. Which one makes more sense?
Bottom.
The bottom? Okay. We're now going to solve for y now. Okay, we're going to go -2 times -14 plus y equals -17. -2 times -14 is positive 28
8.
plus y equals -17. And now what do we do to both sides? Subtract what? 28. And we get y is equal to negative what?
45.
45. And that is our y of our answer. And we have our answer now.